Hello everybody. Today I'm going to show you how I make a very easy lentil soup recipe. It was requested by a few people, so let me show you what you need for the actual ingredients. You need extra virgin olive oil, obviously. You need lentils. So usually around this point of the recipe I will put these in water and let them soak. You can let them soak during the time that it takes you to prepare the actual vegetables, or you can just let them soak for an hour. The longer you let them soak, the softer they become. We are going to cook them for like an hour anyway, so they'll be soft by the end. And a little crunchy is not bad either. Celery. I usually put three stalks. I make a lot. Onion. Onion is super important. It's like the most important vegetable for anything that you ever make. Onion. Minced garlic. Super important for mine is red cooking wine. Gives all the flavor. Regular wine, you know, Merlot is good too. A little bit of red wine vinegar. Use that. Salt. And pepper. Water. And then you use either a bouillon or a broth that you've made yourself. I like to use Knorr chicken bouillon for this one. It's easier. I also have chicken bouillon cubes. A little bit much sugar. This one's a little bit better. Don't add salt to the recipe at all. You don't really have to. It comes in all the ingredients too. And then some extra things you can throw in are carrots. This is if your taste, if you want to. Mushrooms. I'm going to add mushrooms to mine later on. Maggi seasoning is pretty good in moderation. One of the other things you can use is liquid smoke. I'm actually out of liquid smoke right now, so I'm going to use a little bit of soyaki, which kind of does the trick. I suggest getting liquid smoke though for this recipe. Gives it a lot of good flavor. Soyaki has worked too in the past. These are the three seasonings I use, other than maybe using Maggi later on, which I'm not going to use today. Thyme, Mrs. Dash salt-free, any kind of salt-free actually would be good, and a bay leaf. And then if you are not a vegetarian, you can add in cooked hot dogs. Slice them up, put them in the lentil soup as well. That's actually very good too. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to prepare the actual ingredients and take a look at the kitchen. Of course, the first thing you're going to do is soak the lentils. So take your colander, let it in. You want to go through the lentils to make sure there's no stones or anything like that, because believe it or not, when they're harvested, they sometimes leave stones or other types of beans in there from the factory. This one looks pretty good. So you're going to wash them, and then we're going to put them in the water here. Okay? This is warm water. Probably by the time we actually start cooking them, they're going to have start to germinated, which is fine. Not germinated, split. So we're going to let that go on the side. We're going to cut up the celery. I like to use a nice big sharp knife. Ends off. And we're going to chop them up. Okay, I'm going to add in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. That should do it. We're going to heat that oil. That oil. And I'm going to add in the onions and the celery. I'm just going to soften them up. It takes about 4 minutes. They say it takes 2 minutes. It always takes longer. I'm going to add a heaping teaspoon of minced garlic right in there. And then mix it up. I got it away from us. So a few other things we're actually going to use are baby carrots. Baby carrots make it taste really good. Some mushrooms. Mushrooms are right in. Take a handful. These things are really good. Another thing you can really put in there is peanuts. I like to use raw peanuts. Cashews. Actually, the peanuts would be really good. Maybe I'll do that later on. I found some cocktail peanuts. Now, peanuts, I usually like to use them raw, but cocktail peanuts taste very good. They get softer, but they're still kind of crunchy. They give a little bit of texture to the soup. It's pretty good stuff. I put a handful of cocktail peanuts in. They're going to soften up considerably by the time everything is nice and softened. So I'm going to mix it all up. A nutritionist friend of mine once told me that the more colors are in your meals, the healthier it is. And they don't mean artificial coloring, they mean natural coloring from different vegetables and fruits. So at this time I'm going to add about a teaspoon or more, tablespoon I should say, of salt-free seasoning. Yeah, a little more never hurt. There we go. And I'm going to add some thyme in there as well. And on top. Spread it out. There's no really measurement for that. I just like the way it tastes. So what makes it taste like lentil soup? Well, the lentils, of course. But I also think that the bouillon does it. And the red wine vinegar definitely had a lot to do with it. So at this time I'm going to add some of the red wine vinegar. Just a touch to begin with. This just flavors everything. Because we're still going to put this water in, right? And the soup, so we need more of this later on. It'll cook it right out. It's looking good. Just got to let it soften a little bit more. You'll start to see the onions turn translucent. That's what lets you know that it's softened. The celery, the carrots, and especially the mushrooms will all get cooked later on when we put the water in with the broth. Also, the cooking brings out the flavor of these things. So, there's that. So we're almost there now. I think that it may be time to put a pinch of pepper in there. See? Pepper. Don't need a lot of that. Okay, time for the lentils. Here are the lentils. As you can see, they split a little bit. I'm just going to put them right on top. Like that. Get them out of the bowl. Stir it up. Looks like a lot, huh? It is a lot. This should last a couple of days. Okay. Okay, here comes the fun part. We're going to add in 4 cups of water to begin with. all the sounds have stopped. Okay, I'm going to add in a couple more ingredients now that it's starting to get a little warmer. I'm going to put in the chicken bouillon, just one. We're not hedonists here, we just don't want to have one. You know, too much salt is not good for you. We're going to take some of that. We're going to put in just a touch. Oh, I got to shake this one up with the soyaki, right? Soyaki. I would say less, a little bit more. There we go. 1 to 2 tablespoons. 1 tablespoon of cooking wine. Put that in there. 1 more tablespoon, and this depends on your own taste, of red wine vinegar. So I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons I put in there. Stirring it up. I'm going to add 4 more cups of water. That gives us a grand total of 8 cups of water. I'm going to stir it. One more time. I'm going to add in a bay leaf. Nice full one. Ah, there we go. That is a bay leaf to be proud of. That goes in there. Well, let's float it. Stir it up. And now we're going to bring this to a boil. So let's wait for that. Okay, it's getting there. Now that the soup is actually boiling, I'm going to give it one more stir here. Then I'm going to reduce the temperature and simmer it. You know, just a little bit less than medium-low. Cover it up. We're going to simmer this now for 60 minutes. At the end of that, it'll be a lentil soup. You'll know that it's done because the lentils will rise to the surface of the water and the color will change a lot. We'll leave that alone. Okay, it's been about just an hour now simmering, so we'll take a look at it. So you see it's gotten a little bit darker in color and the lentils have risen and split. This is just about finished. So one thing you have is a choice. You can just leave it straight like the way I usually do, or you can take half the actual soup, grind it up in a blender, put it back together, and you'll have like a more thicker, brothy type soup. Some people like that. I like both, but I think sometimes I just like to eat the, that's why I put the peanuts in there. So, here's our soup. Like I said, you can mix it with many different things and enjoy. Thank you.